was back on the train from Zermatt to Tosh. Then we got on our bus, went north to Visp, then east, and then headed south through the Simplon Pass, and then on to Italy, where we had lunch in Stresa on Lake Maggiore. This pass over the Alps has likely been used since Neolithic times. The Roman legions used it too, but it wasn't possible to transport a lot of goods on these difficult trails. In the 1600s, a mule trail was developed to provide a safer route for the flow of trade. The first road suitable for vehicles dates back to the time of Napoleon, who wanted to be able to move troops and cannons across the pass. He built the first navigable road in the Western Alps in 1805. Lots of hairpin turns on this route. This is the closest we got to the Swiss grain storage barns for their cows.
Traditionally, the tree goes up on Christmas Eve. That was also a present to the children because the tree would be decorated with treats, so you're eating. Takes one arrow, stretches it in the bow, pulls back, lets it. In the distance below, you'll see another bridge. See the old road there down to the left, and then keep looking. That bridge was built on Napoleon's orders. And so after Caspar Stockalper in the middle of the 1600s, then at the beginning of the 1800s, Napoleon ordered the next refurbishment, reconstruction.
At the crest of the Simplon Pass is a stone eagle, which looks south. It's a monument recalling World War II, when Swiss soldiers were stationed there to protect the country in the event of an Axis invasion, which luckily never happened.
Large coral-colored building on the left, that was begun on Napoleon's orders, but then Waterloo happened. The kibosh was put on the construction there. It was supposed to be completed at the same time as the pass and act as a barracks for his troops. In the end, what happened was about 1825, the Augustinian monks from the St. Bernard Pass, some of them came out here to complete the construction, and they have owned and operated it ever since as a hotel.
Completed in 1666, this is a 5-story building made of granite. The house served to protect the route and was a hostel for the mule drivers until 1831. The owners used the top 3 floors as their summer residence. In 1980, the Swiss military bought it and restored it. Today it can be rented by military for events, and it's also used as a troops barrack. Barral started to build this for his missionary students in 1902. He was unable to complete it, and the building was finished in 1924 by the Bethlehem Mission House Society. Today it's owned by the Swiss Army, who uses it as barracks. We stopped in this charming little village of about 300 inhabitants for a rest stop. Little village coming down the Simplon Pass headed towards Lake Maggiore, and our tour guide knows there's a nifty little bakery in here that's not touristy, just for us. And notice the pine cones on those pine tree, they're all standing at attention. I guess this is a Simplon news store, and we have breads, and pastries. That one's looks like apple. This I know is an almond croissant, and that was a chocolate cake that was delicious. And here's some more fruit tarts, and they even have candy. Side of the Simplon Pass was total blue sky. We crossed the summit and clouds abound.
Yeah. They produce their own Roggenbrot. The Roggenbrot. They wake up at the wee hours of the morning and they are baking 1,000 loaves.
Oh wow!
4 days a week of their special Roggenbrot. So
there's a good close-up of one of the snow, I don't know if it's garage or gallery fencing up close. Lago Maggiore. Maggiore is the second largest lake in Italy, the largest being Lake Garda, and number 3 is Lake Como.
Incredibly wealthy merchant family. 2 of the family members actually founded a bank in Milan. They weren't hurting for money and had a number of very prestigious ancestors. Amongst those, you had Charles of Borromeo, Saint Charles, patron saint against the plague. Actually, although he grew up with all of his affluence, he walked the walk. He called for a lot of reforms amongst the clergy. He wanted them to behave better. He was not popular amongst his peers. Isola Bella and Isola Madre and one more, forgetting the name of the moment, 3 islands here in Lake Maggiore are still owned by the Borromeo family, privately owned.
This is Stresa, and we're going into the castle on Isola Bella, the Borromeo Palace. This is probably the guard room. Lots of helmets, breastplates, and even a little cannon.
These rings were used only in the year 1959, so about 60 years ago, when it was completed, and this use at the reception. Because can you hear we can use it? It's really beautiful. And do you see that we have a dome? So of course, this is quite real.
This is the ballroom.
So you need to answer, and the first one win a ball. So if you answer, you win a dance with me, of course. So be careful. Only one day, and then you continue the party.
Diana and Charles.
Because from here, today the curtain is closed because the family is on the palace, of course. But here.
There's a whole series of these underground grottos.
Property of the family Borromeo called Fortress of Arona. It was a strategical and military castle on the hills near Stresa. And that was also the birthplace of Saint Charles Borromeo. Do you remember the man about humility and militas? Why it's here? Because actually that was destroyed by Napoleon in 1803. So unfortunately it's not private.
It's a hall of tapestries in Brussels,
Inside
1500s.
every tapestry, you can find only animals, no human figures, just animals. And also many violent scenes. So you see animals attacking that ranger. The unicorn, sorry, the animal attacking. Because these wanted to represent like the triumph of religion after all.
This fabulous sculpture garden. And up on the top we might be able to see a blue and red flag. That means that members of the Borromeo family are in residence. These 3 peacocks are about 6 feet away from me. And there's a little one. Another one down there. And rain has lifted. The boat we just got off of. There's the island we visited, Isola Bella.
The side
This
of
is
San
Lake
Salvatore.
Lugano.
And the funicular.
The Hotel Splendide Royal in Paris. And now we're in the Hotel Splendide in Lugano in Switzerland. And the water's supposed to be in the mid-70s. And people go swimming down there. There's a boat dock just right down there. we will go for a boat ride tomorrow.